Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Institute of Global Professionals platform. Good evening, everyone. A wonderful day, all of you. Thank you for joining us in a live session for international webinar in IGP. I am Kamrul from Bangladesh. Let's start the program. Today I will be presenting webinar number 370 and the topic is sustaining your passion. Today we have a powerful speaker from Italy. So without delay, let's welcome our speaker. Hello ma'am.
Hi there. How you doing? Can you
Good
see?
evening
Can you see
ma'am.
me? Hi, everybody. Hi. Good
Yes ma'am.
evening. Hello. Good afternoon. Good morning. How is everything? How is everybody today? Everybody good? Give a little thumbs up if you're doing good. Okay. Well, I am very honored to be here today. It's a huge honor to speak at the International Global Professionals Institute. So I'm excited to share with you what I've done a little bit in my life. I'm excited to share, maybe a vision for the future, or maybe help you plant the seed for your passion, for your life, for your business, for your personal goals and your professional goals and dreams, and to maybe answer some questions to help you along the way a little bit afterwards. So a little bit about me is my name is Jo Wheeler. I was originally born in Durban, South Africa. My family immigrated when I was a child to Canada and then to United States. So I've been raised all around the US and Canada. I've had the privilege to live in 6 countries, and I'm now currently living in Italy. I own a bed and breakfast in Italy and also a coaching market. It's called the Powerball Team. And for me, I've owned several businesses in the past, and always started my business out of necessity rather than a pure driven passion. But I've always mixed passion into what I'm doing. So what I want to share with you guys today is to how to enjoy your life, how to have the passion in your life, and to do the things that you want to do, and to break out of the chains of what you are doing right now, and to give yourself the opportunity to live the life of your dreams, and to just go for it, So I hope at the end we're all going to become friends, and if I can help you in any way, definitely I'll make sure that my information is posted up there. You can reach me at joewheelerfacebook.com or Labella Sabianita, or you can reach me at Labella Sabianita and the Powerball Team, and I will explain a little bit more about that. One of the things that drive me is I'm going to break this down into a couple of different segments. So let me know if I am going too fast or if I'm going a little bit too slow. But when we think of passion, what do we think about besides the romantic passion? We all want to have that romantic passion, but that's not what we're here to talk about today, right? So when you guys think of passion, what is it that makes you guys excited? What is it that makes you go, okay, I'm going to get out of bed in the morning. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have, a great opportunity, and I'm going to have the life of my dreams. So in order for me to share that with you, I'm just going to back up a little bit. I grew up in an immigrant family in the United States and Canada. We did not have a lot of money. We had, there were 10 children in my family. I'm number 3 out of 7 girls and 3 boys. So I'm the third oldest in my family. My mom and dad, raised us. My dad at the time was the only support for our family. My dad was in sales and in the printing trade. And I got to spend quite a lot of time with my dad in, the newspaper fields and the printing market. And I got to learn quite a lot of marketing and strategies and sales techniques from my own father, which has really blessed me throughout my life. But we did not always have a lot of money. A lot of times, people go, oh, you must have been so well off. No, we were not. We were very, very poor. And I remember one time distinctly, I was about maybe 13, 14 years old, watching TV. I was watching Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and they were showing a castle in Tours, France. And I remember there was a knock on the door, and it was quite a lot of anger that followed that knock. Um, People had come to repossess our furniture, our beds, our table, and the TV that I was watching, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. The gentleman was kind enough to let me finish watching the show. And as he left, he looked at me and said, "You'll never get it, kid. You're just, look at what's happening." And that was kind of my first inkling that, my family was not doing okay and that people lived a different way. We were used to moving at midnight. Yeah, anybody can relate to that. We moved at midnight. You know, um, we stayed with friends. We moved a lot because my dad would get transferred a lot or get a new job or be looking for a job. But my dad would always instill on me and say, you can definitely do whatever you want to do in life. If you can dream it, you can have it. So before we really start today, I really want to ask you guys, what is it in your life that you want to get out of bed in the morning for? What is it that drives you? Sometimes it's good things, sometimes it's bad motivation. For me, it was the haunting image of that all my life going, some people live in castles, right? And some people move at midnight. I wanted to be the one living in a castle. I wanted to be the one to have a fairy tale life that said, "Oh my gosh, is this real?" And it's not just about wealth. It's about passion in your life. We all are going to have hardships happen. We are all going to have a loved one pass away. Last year started out, really horribly for my family. We lost my daughter. She passed away. And, for the first couple of months of last year, it really was hard to get through anything. And there comes a time that we have to step over that threshold and you have to say, why? Why am I getting out of bed in the morning? Why am I doing this? Why am I going forward? Why do I want to have these nice things? So we have to really dig down deep and get to the core issues of what we do. And I find that when I teach this and when I do this, the core issues is really not material things. The core issues is, how do you want to live? How do you want to be? What is the image that you have of yourself? What is the image that you have of your life? What is that sacred dream or goal or vision that you have that you want to accomplish? Maybe it's becoming a doctor. Maybe it's becoming an author or an artist, or maybe it's playing sports. Maybe it's becoming a scientist or, an astronaut. Whatever it is, you need to have that core value beyond any wealth, beyond any material things, because these things can come and go. But when you are passionate about something, it will take you further. And whenever you start a dream or goal, we all start in the honeymoon phase where, woo, look at that, we're so excited. And then you're going to go through some bumps in the road, right? So then you're going to have some things happen. And I believe that God throws things at us, and challenges come our way for many reasons, to try us, to change us, and to make us stronger. And so sometimes, you're going to have a dream and a goal and a vision for your life. And then God's going to come in and go, no, 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 no. We're going to do something completely different with what you wanted. And that's okay, because I believe that every single thing that we go through is definitely, a mile marker for your greatness. It's a step to the next level. It takes you, if I had not gone through all the struggles and trials that I'd personally gone through, I would not have accomplished half of what I've done in my life. So just to let you guys know a little bit what I've done. I've had an art business. I'm a mural artist, so I've been able to do murals all over. These are some of my murals on the wall behind me. I don't know if you could see that. I have had a childcare business. I have had a consulting business, a marketing business, a cleaning company up in Canada. That ended up evolving into an events company. It ended up evolving into where I could do weddings, events, set decorating, staging houses for the buyer's market. And we ended up growing because we had a different way of looking at things. So when I say that it will actually change you, you need to know the core value of what you're doing. Because when the hard things come at you, you need to know why you're still doing what you're doing. You need to have that passion so firmly instilled in you that rain or shine, you're still going to get up and you're still going to do it. Even if you just do one thing every single day, you're still going to make it. And sometimes we live in an instant coffee world where we want everything yesterday. Okay, we put the coffee pot on, it better be ready in 15 seconds, right? How many people can relate to that, right? You go through line to get your fast food and and it doesn't take 15 seconds. We're like, what happened? We want to get our fast food. So you have to just relax on yourself a little bit and you have to be able to break it down. And I would really recommend to every single one of you. I don't know how many are out there in which countries, but welcome. I'm so excited that you're all here and that you're investing in yourself to go further and to learn and to grow more. But for me, I had to really know why I was doing something. For years and years and years, I had friends go, "Ooh, don't you want a Porsche? Ooh, put that Porsche up on your fridge." And I had this Porsche 911 red Carrera with a whale fin on my fridge. I loved it. It's a beautiful car. I had it up there and I just wouldn't hit my goals. And I wasn't passionate about that. I loved the car, but I wasn't passionate about it. And I had to really think and it came to a conversation where I was talking with a friend of mine who's a lawyer, and she wanted to start a institute where it helped underprivileged people, with their legal needs. And she said, but I have all these dreams and goals and nothing moves me. And I said to her, maybe you have the wrong dream and goal up on your refrigerator. For years, I had that red Porsche on my refrigerator. I was convinced I needed that Porsche. But you know what really drove me was kindness, love, compassion, servitude, and helping other people to rise. So it is really an honor and a privilege to be here today with you. It is really an honor and a privilege to sow into your life because every single one of us watching, we don't know who we are. We don't know what God has intended us to do. There is something great. There's seeds of greatness in every single one of you. And I hope today, if I do nothing else, that I inspire you to get to the next step. And I help you to reach higher and say, if she can do this, I can do this, right? Because I'm just an immigrant kid. I'm just a simple immigrant kid. I'm dyslexic. I'm the loudest out of my, brothers and sisters. I've gone through wealth in my life. I've gone through poverty in my life. I've had everything and I've had everything taken away. And I've lost everything several times and I've rebuilt my life several times. And if it wasn't for the passion that drove me, I really would not have been able to get up at some of the intervals of my life. And we've all gone through stuff. We've all gone through health challenges. We've all gone through loss of a job, or maybe a relationship breaks up, or maybe, you move to a different neighborhood and all of a sudden you're out of your pond and you don't know anybody and you basically have to start all over. Maybe you've gotten a new job. Maybe, you've had a loved one pass away. Whatever it is, right? You have to find the passion that keeps you going. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with a TV show. It's called The Christmas Story. It's one of my favorites. My children and I would watch it every single year at Christmas time. And this movie, you can take notes on this movie. This is a good motivational movie. This is about a little boy who's bound and determined to get a Red Ryder BB gun, and he comes up with plan after plan after plan after plan. Every waking minute of his life is spent around, how do I get this Red Ryder BB gun? How do I get this I mean, everything from writing essays to school, to talking to his parents, to, looking at the toy store and looking at it, going, oh my gosh, I want that, talking to Santa Claus, talking to his teacher, talking to his mom, and getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And this little boy holds faith. And he holds to this passion that I'm going to get a Red Ryder BB gun. Christmas morning comes and he opens all the presents and he's a little disappointed. And his dad says, did you get what you were looking for? And he's like, yeah, everything is great. And he goes, oh, wait, there's one more present behind the Christmas tree, right? And this little boy opens his present, and what is it? It's the Red Ryder BB gun that he had wanted all year long. So there's a lot of power in what you speak, you claim. What you claim, you become. So make sure that you guys are watching your words with what you speak, what you do, what you say, that you are watching your words and you're speaking only seeds of greatness. Because when I was that 12-year-old little girl and we had our furniture taken away, our beds, our TV, our table, our chairs, everything. And we had nothing left in our house. And I remember that the words of the gentleman said, "Kid, you'll never have it. Look at, we're taking your furniture," right? But that doesn't matter, because one of my favorite sayings is, "It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog." And what's the fight? It's the passion. It's the passion that says, "I'll show you," right? How many of us have ever had a bully come after us, and and we're like, "I'm going to show you what I'm made of. I'm going to show you, what I can do with my life." So a couple of things drove me. I was living in Utah. I was married, had two children, and had an incident happen in my first marriage that, for the safety of me and my children, um, I I got a divorce, and left with nothing in my pockets, and I was bound and determined that that was not going to be how my children were raised. My children were not going to be raised how I was raised. My mom and dad loved us. My mom and dad believed in us, and they raised us the best they could. But we were raised in poverty, and it's very hard to pull yourself out of that, because sometimes there's a mindset that goes with it that you feel that you're not enough. I'm going to just stop that right now. You are absolutely enough. God has given you everything you need for every single dream that you have in your heart. He's given you everything you need. And if not, He puts you on a journey to go find it. So from that moment, that's where my journey actually truly began. Scared as I was a single mom with two children, and I made the decision to move back to Canada with my children, for many reasons: for the protection of my kids, for a new opportunity, a new chance, and I did, and I jumped. And with passion, sometimes with passion, you have to be willing to take that opportunity when it comes, because sometimes the opportunities only come once, and sometimes you have to really, you know, you have to believe in yourself just that much, not even the whole way. So what happened was, my children and I moved to Canada. I ended up meeting and remarrying another person, and a wonderful man. And my life was wonderful for a little bit. Had the security, had the family, had the home, had everything was going great in my life. A couple of things happened in my life. Um, my second husband got ended up getting testicular cancer, and he separated himself from the family so that he can survive. And I'm happy to say, to this day, he's still alive. Um, my my ex-husband came against me to get custody of my son, my oldest child, and I ended up losing custody of my child by default, because I did not have the financial means to keep going. So I was doing any job that I could, and that's part of success. You guys need to be willing to do whatever it takes, to do whatever it needs to take to get to where you need to go. And not everybody is willing to do that. But if you are, I promise you, you will have the success. It may not happen today. Like I said, the instant coffee world, it may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. You might have to work for it. You're going to cry. You're going to go through trials. God's going to try you to say, do you really want this? And you have to really know why you want this. You have to really know, yes, I really want this. So for me, that was where my journey started. I ended up cleaning houses. I was offered a job with Chanel Cosmetics to do runway and print, at the same time. But if I would have taken that job, I would have lost both of my children. So I declined that job, took a cleaning job for a friend. I felt degraded. I felt humiliated. I felt like I wasn't good enough. We've all felt like that, right? We've all done menial jobs, but it wasn't. It was an honest day's work. I had an opportunity and a privilege to serve people, and to, lift their burdens for a while, and to go home and put my head on the pillow and say, thank you. I did an honest day's work today. It didn't pay a lot, but I was able to provide for my daughter. And another incident happened where I lost custody of my oldest son, and I ended up having a emotional breakdown. It's really a bad thing when a child is being taken from a mom, and so I ended up losing my child. And so I went back, my custody battle was in the United States, so I would fly back and forth. It was an international custody battle. I was living in Canada at the time. And I went back, cleaned houses nobody knew. I would smile, serve people, sure, of course, we'll do that for you, no problem. And it got to the point where everything just broke one day and I couldn't stop crying. And I called my boss and I said, I can't work for you anymore. I am done. And she asked me what I was going to do. And I said, I'm going to, clean for myself. And I started my own company. My dad made me some business cards. And at my very lowest point is when I rose. And at my lowest point, and I'm talking, my second husband had just walked out to save himself with cancer. I had just lost my son with uh, in a custody battle. My daughter and I had gotten into a very bad car accident. So my car was gone. We were in the hospital for a while. If my daughter would have moved one little bit, she would have been decapitated in the car accident. That's how bad it was. The house that I had rented with my second husband, I no longer could cover the rent in that. So I had no choice but to move. And it was that moment where I cried. Of course, be human, allow yourself all your, responses and reactions. Don't deny those, because it's when we push them down that they come out at different times and times that we don't want them to. So let them come out. That's part of passion. That's part of letting your passion drive you, is you need to allow yourself to feel what you feel when you feel it. I cried. I figured it out. I went to the bank, told my bank lady, I just started my new business. Anybody who needs a housekeeper, let me know. I've got my own company. And my dad had printed out, I think, 20 or 30 business cards, and I gave them all out. I had a quarter tank of gas left in my car. I'd bought a secondhand car. It was a very not reliable car, but it was all I could afford. I had $14 left in my bank account, and I started my company. I went to the local store. I bartered for a vacuum. I had $14 left in my bank account. I got the vacuum for, I think it was $10. And I went home, cut up all my towels, and pulled all the cleaning products from underneath my cupboards. And that's how I started. And I ran my cleaning company for 15 years. We ended up being a very big, very large company in Vancouver, Canada, which is a very hard market to be in. And we did things differently. We chose to be joyful. It wasn't dirt, it was job security. We thanked everybody. And my passion that drove me was I had a little girl at home that I needed to provide for. I was still a mom. And when I started hiring people, I was now responsible for those mothers. And I wanted to make sure that those moms were home and that those precious women got to spend time with their children as well, and that they were paid very well, that they did not have to go out and find another job after working all day. And from that, my company grew because we had a different attitude, we had a different passion. And thank you guys so much. But I just want you guys to know that you can do that. That one moment alone in my life has been a very pinnacle. I was scared to death. I had no other option but to start my own business. I was at an emotional point in my life where I could not work for anybody at that time. And through that, God has blessed me. So with that, I ended up moving to France. I ended up getting breast cancer, and my company I had built up really well. I ended up selling to a wonderful man and to his company. I had stage 4 breast cancer. I had a double mastectomy, and I had quite a lot of surgeries, 28 rebuild surgeries, because I had so many failures. And I was now on complete bed rest. So I was laying there watching HGTV, House Hunters International, and I was really going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do now to provide? My normal is gone. And I saw a beautiful house in France on the TV show, and something came alive inside me and said, you can do this. You can do this, Joe. You can do this. You can leap outside yourself. You can do this. So I took a leap of faith, made a phone call, booked a flight to France, and went and saw the property, bought the property, you know, and took a chance on myself. And that helped me come alive. And I'm not saying for you guys to do that. Please don't think I'm going to go, okay, now please move to this country. I ended up selling the home back to somebody in France. I had picked the most beautiful home, but I actually, it was in an area that wasn't the greatest. So I came back to Canada and started my cleaning company up again, and I built it faster. And we did more things. We did fundraisers, we did, events, we did everything that we needed. But you know what it was? It was the passion that drove me, that just kept propelling me, kept me going forward with everything. And so I am number one, absolutely find your passion. Find what makes you come alive. If it's painting, paint. Life is too short. We've all lost somebody. Life is too short to be stuck in a job that you don't like. With coronavirus, that has actually blessed us quite a lot, right? Because it has allowed us to, all of us, reinvent ourselves. Look at this. We are in so many different countries right now, but we're having this webinar, and it is amazing, right? So I am just so excited for you. I'm so excited for you to follow what you do. I ended up, moving to America, and then I had an opportunity to come to Italy, and I came here right before, the pandemic, before everything exploded in the world. And there's been a lot of dark days, and so that's what I want to tell you. With any dream, with any goal, you are going to have days that it's just going to drive you through the mud, and you're going to have people leave. You're going to question yourself and go, why am I actually on this journey? Why am I doing this? And that's when you really have to know deep down inside you what you're going to do, what it is that drives you. Is it being a better mom? Is it being a baker? Is it, learning the financial market? Is it becoming a doctor or a lawyer or, a farmer? Whatever it is, I would recommend that you do it with all your heart. I would recommend that you put up as many pictures as you can, surround yourself with the image, and create the image. If you don't like how your life is, that is up to you to change it. That's not up to anybody. Nobody else is coming to rescue you for that. You need to have a vision for your life. You need to say, this is who I am. This is who I want to be. This is what I want to be. This is what I want to do with my life. This is what I want to achieve. And it's not bad to want, the fluff stuff is what I call it. It's not bad to want to put that car up on the refrigerator or that dream house and say, one day my family's living in this. Well, you know what? Let's make that one day today. Let's work on that. Let's make it today that you put the vision up. You go to the core. And I keep asking myself the question, what is it that I really want? Do I want the castle? Of course. Who doesn't want a castle? Do I want the cars and the jewelry and the clothes? What woman doesn't? Be honest, right? We all do. But what do I want beyond that? When you've already bought all those things, what else keeps you going? What keeps you going? What is your laser beam focus that keeps you going? My vision right now is that my company, it's La Bella Sabionita, and then La Bella Sabionita and the Powerball team. The Powerball team, we have 40 incredible global coaches. What they do is they coach, they empower. Some are TEDx talkers, some are financial gurus. These are the best of the best in the world. And these are people that are really going to impact the world. So my goal and my vision is that we are strong impactors, that we are somebody that is lifting and encouraging and empowering somebody else. Because you never know when you hear a talk that something is just going to hit you right in your heart. And you're going to go, if it weren't for that, I would never have risen. And for me, personally, for my own life, if it weren't for all the heartaches that I've gone through, I don't think I would have had the courage to have risen. When I was younger, I wanted to be a mom, a wife. I wanted to be a fashion designer, a makeup artist, and a designer. And I wanted to own a bed and breakfast, right? I've done every single one of those things. But my true vision was to be a mom and a wife. And for some reason, that wasn't the vision that worked for me, right? But I feel that it's a privilege and an honor and a responsibility that we have to inspire, especially the youth of this world, to not die at a job, to go out and find your passion, to go out and find what you want to do, even if your family laughs. And believe me, I've had so many people laugh. I've had so many people turn their back. I've had so many people go, "Oh, you're going to be an author and you're dyslexic." Yes. And the book that I co-authored last year became a #1 international best-selling book, which was really exciting because it scared me. But the vision of what I wanted for my life was different for what I was willing to accept the limitations that other people had put on me. So sometimes finding your passion is breaking through your own limitations. Sometimes finding your passion is being able to recognize the life that you have and say, maybe this isn't what I want. And that's, I love my parents dearly. My mom and dad did their very best that they could with our family. But it doesn't make me or you selfish for wanting a different life, to be able to want to have an easier, better life, to be able to want to strive higher. And I'm not just meaning with material things. Maybe you come from an abusive home or a broken home, and your goal is, I am going to have a happy home. I am going to have a home where, we compliment and we love and we cheer and we empower each other rather than tear each other down. Maybe you come from a place where, you were linked to poverty all your life. And so many times when that is the case, we feel like that is all that we are worthy of having. That's not. It doesn't matter where you come from, Yale or jail. You can do it. You can have it. You can become it. There's the only person that truly stops you is you. You don't have any money. It's okay. So many businesses were started in garages. Look at Bill Gates. Look what he did, right? Look at Apple. That started in a garage, right? Look at Facebook. He started that because he had no friends. And every single one of us are on Facebook. In fact, this is being viewed on Facebook as we speak, right? It's about, who do you want to be? What do you want to have? What goals do you really want to have? And I recommend take your birthday number, whatever your birthday number is, write down goals for you with your birthday number. If you are born on the 26th, write down 26 goals, and then really look at your paper and find the top 5 that really call to your heart. Because at first we're going to go, ooh, big house, big car. I want this, want that, want this, want this, want that. And then we're going to go, I want to be happy. I want, to be financially stable, that God uses my pockets to bless other people. I want to be a secret giver. I want to be able to fund charities or orphanages or schools, or I want to be able to sponsor people. I want to be able to have my own business or my own construction company or whatever it is, right? But before you can even find your passion, you need to know your why. If you don't know your why, you're just going to go from thing to thing, right? But once you refine yourself, once you refine the vision and the goal and who you are and who you want to be, we all have a vision of what we want to look like. That's why we get dressed in the morning. We do our hair, we do our makeup, and we have an idea of how we're going to put it all together, right? If not, we'd all get dressed in the dark and say, okay, we're good, let's go, right? But we all have a vision, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I would say cultivate your vision. Realize that nothing is going to happen instantaneously. And if it does, it will fall just as quickly. So know that as well. Also know that beyond the fluff stuff, you have to know the reason why that you are going to keep going when every single person maybe walks out on you. Maybe the dream's taken too long. Maybe, they don't see the vision. Well, you know what? They're not supposed to see the vision because God gave it to you, not to them. He gave it to you. And one of the biggest things that I do is I always encourage everybody to read a couple of books. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Every single person in this world needs to read that book, period. It's an old book, but it's so full of knowledge and wisdom. The Richest Man of Babylon, another great gem. And then Jonathan Livingston Seagull those are probably my top 3 books that I tell everybody that I coach and mentor to read those books. But you can learn so much from that. When you read those books, you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your mind, you're investing in the power of becoming. And that is a huge power, because when things go bad on the way to your dreams, which they will, you will still have that burning desire. Even if you can just get out of bed and do one thing, you will still keep going and the vision will get bigger. And sometimes those are tests to see if we are worthy of that dream and vision. If we're worthy of that goal, because guess what? Here's a secret. God wants to give it to you. He wants you to have whatever you want, just like you as a parent want to give your kids everything. We love our children. We want to give them the good things. We want to see their joy. He wants to see your joy too. But if we're not worthy for that, we may not get it. So you have to know what your passion is. You have to know what is going to keep you going on those dark nights when you're working till 3 or 4 in the morning. What are you going to do when everybody laughs at you and tells you just quit, get a job, go back home? What are you doing? You'll never do that, right? You will do that. You will do that. Everything that people have told me I can't do, I push myself to do. And I don't know, maybe it's arrogance, I don't know. But I push myself to say, I can do this. I can do hard things. I can do hard things. And when I went through breast cancer, I had to really talk to myself as two people. We, my body and my spirit, we are going to do this. We can keep going when it's tough. You might need to stop. You might need to take a break. You might need to, have a cry. And that's okay. You might need to reevaluate the dream and the goal. You might need to say, why do I want to still be a member of that? And if we didn't evolve and change, we would still have dreams and goals that were maybe unrealistic. Like when I was 12, I wanted to have a strawberry shortcake gang. Like who really wants to be a part of that? Nobody, right? When I was dating in high school and I was dating the captain of the football team, I was like, oh, I want to play a football game. I want to be on the football team. No, I don't want to do that anymore. Right. So sometimes we have to readjust, and sometimes we all have our unrealistic things and sometimes we have our realistic. But what I found is when you become passionate with it, it becomes your life. It becomes like a child. It becomes like a family. It becomes your invested time, your money, your energy into this. So be willing to invest in yourself. Be willing to, clear the mechanism and block out the noise. So many people have told me this will not work. So many people have told me no. So many people, banks, investors, everything. So many people have told me no. So many people have told me to get my head out of the clouds. But you know what? I can see it. I know that the vision that we have is going to work. I know that we could be a positive change. I know that we can make a positive difference in this world. I know that each and every one of us is born for greatness, and that it doesn't matter what religion, what race, what creed, it doesn't matter what orientation you are. It doesn't, none of that, whether you're educated, whether you're not educated, none of those matter. What matters is what's inside you. Are you going to let them be right, or are you going to be right? Right? And I really want you guys to believe, just believe. Sometimes, the whole vision is seeing the entire vision from start to finish, but sometimes we just need those first little step and then the next step. And then sometimes we go through things, that it's a deciding pivotal point. Are we going to keep going or are we going to stop? Right? And some of the ways that I found for me is I definitely write down my dreams and goals. I write down, how it's going to work. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. Keep trying, keep going. Thomas Edison found 180 or 1,000, I think at 1,085 plus or minus ways for the electricity to not work. Do you think he was discouraged sometimes? Yes. But are we grateful? He kept trying? Yes. Because without his invention, we wouldn't be here today. Right? Think about this. People became wealthy making paper clips. Why? They knew their idea would work. They knew. Look at your zippers on your clothes. Somebody invented that. They were passionate about a zipper. Who's passionate about a zipper? That person. And there's so many other examples I can give you. J.K. Rowling is one of my absolute favorite examples. That woman was in a homeless shelter with her children. Day after day after day, she would put in her manuscripts for Harry Potter. Day after day after day. Every single one of them would come back rejected, rejected. And she would get all kinds of comments on it, like, come back to us when you have an actual story, when you have a real story. Get out of your fantasy world. Day after day, day after day, day after day, day after day, year after year. And they would come back, and she would use all the money she had. And look at her now. Every single one of us around the world loves Harry Potter. Well, I hope we do. It's great. But think about that. The ideas that people think won't work. Look at Elon Musk. Everybody laughed at him. And he just, went to space last year. His dream came true. Right? There is example after example, movie stars, professors, doctors, lawyers. And here's what I really want you guys to take away from this. When we watch the Olympics this year, we're going to see some great athletes. We're going to see some pinnacle moments in history being made. We're going to see records being broken. We're going to see triumphs. We're going to see victories. We're going to see defeats. But I want you to look at that athlete. We see them raising their hand to get the gold medal, the silver medal, bronze medal. We see that. We cheer that victory. We're part of the crowd. We're cheering it. We don't see them when they want to quit. We don't see them when maybe they broke an ankle or maybe a loved one died. We don't see the days that they wanted to quit. We don't see the days that they didn't believe in themselves. We don't see the days that they didn't think they could make it to the next day, or they didn't have the finances to keep this dream going. There was a athlete in Vancouver Olympics years ago that she was there, and she did not get her funding to be in the Olympics until that morning. So keep going. And that's where a coach comes in. You always need to surround yourself with somebody who will believe in you. You will need to surround yourself, even if it's just one person. So you will absolutely, I have leaders. I have a lot of people who laugh and snicker. But now that the books come out, and now that other things are happening in my life, and we're speaking all around the world, people who made fun of me are now like, oh, I know her. Oh my gosh, I went to school with her. Oh. Right. And that's what's going to happen to you. So I really want you guys to just be passionate. Find what is going to make you happy. Take the breaks in between. If you need to stop and cry and regroup and maybe change it up, don't be afraid to change it up. Sometimes we're stuck on an old idea, and then we need to go, okay, how do we evolve this? How do we make it better? Okay, this happened beyond my control. Coronavirus happened beyond all of our control, right? I was supposed to open in June of 2020, and that didn't happen, right? But because of coronavirus, I was then able to formulate really good relationships with coaches around the world and create this fantastic Powerball team that we have of this dynamic group of coaches that are there. And we're actually putting together a Powerball University. And we do have retreats in La Bella Sabionita. However, we are going to be pushing those back for a year with still the global situation. So as we're doing that, I myself have to shift. I myself have to shift and learn and say, okay, let's, if you're driving a car and you're in a manual car, you have to shift gears. You can't just go in one gear. If you're in an automatic car, your car automatically shifts for you. So that's what I'm saying is be changeable. Be willing to know what it is, know your why, and write that down. Write goals that accommodate your birthday number, and then eliminate them to the top 5. Now, if you're born on the 1st, then maybe you can add 5, right? Like, don't be scared. Don't be afraid to fail either. That's part of it. It's not fun when things happen, but here's the thing. You at least tried, right? You at least tried. Nobody can ever say anything to you. The people that make fun of us are the ones that do nothing but sit and laugh and banter and bully and make fun. But what are they actually doing? Nothing. So if you're out there and you're doing it and you're going for it, and somebody else is laughing, just know that they're laughing because you're doing something. That alone is fuel. And sometimes it's knowing what we don't want in our life, that we, sometimes for me, it was growing up in poverty that I knew I did not want that life. I did not want that life for my children. I did not want that life for anybody that I could stop. I wanted to help people to rise up and to be financially affluent. And whatever your level of success is, we all have a different number that is okay with us, right? I wanted to help people to be so prosperous that we are a force that can do good, that can go out and help and serve people, and to be able to pour into people's lives and to invest. So we are, definitely, you know, a powerful people when we work together and we work, for a betterment of people. Those were my driving forces. It wasn't the material things. And it took me a long time to realize that, because I'd go, oh, I'd put this goal on the fridge, and why didn't I ever hit it? I didn't hit it because that goal wasn't important. Truly, it wasn't my passion. It wasn't. But my passion is making sure people are fed. My passion is making sure that people have an education. My passion is making sure that nobody goes through the financial struggles that I did, especially if you're a single parent. That is hard. My passion is to people that I don't even know that are watching this, that somebody maybe a year, 10 years, 5 years from now comes out to me and said, you talked and you instilled this dream in me. That's my passion. That's how we know that we've truly lived. That's the true wealth of world. This world is to know that we've really sown into another person, that they had the courage to rise up. And for me, Nelson Mandela is a huge part of that. It was his inaugural speech, let your light so shine. Who are you to not be gorgeous, talented, powerful? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. Who are you not to be that person? Who are you not to be the next leader? Who are you not to be the next astronaut? Who are you not to be the next teacher? Who are you not to be the next best parent? Who are you not to be, whatever it is you want to be? Who are you not to have that? That is your right. Get your passion so strong that even if you lose everything, you can gain it again. You can do it again. Because when you are going after a big dream, you will go after big challenges, and big challenges will follow you. But I'd like to say, if you're going after Moby Dick, then bring along the tartar sauce. Don't set yourself up for failure. Believe. Have your cheering squad. Write down your goals. Know your why. Know your why, especially when the cheerleaders leave. Know your why when it's, enough, right? And I just really want to thank you guys for taking a moment to invest in yourself today. I really want to thank, the Institute of Global Professionals for hosting this. This is a lot of work. And so I hope we all just give them a round of applause. And, I really hope you take the time to invest in yourself. Whatever your dream and goal is, it doesn't matter. You can do it. You have everything you need inside you to do it. And if not, God will provide when you're on your journey. He will provide the right people, and he will exit the right people out of your life when they need to leave. Trust that. But hang on to your passion so much. And if you're doing this for your family, put your picture of your family up there. If you have a dream to create an orphanage, in a second world country, put that up there. If you want to live in a castle, put that up there. Whatever it is, you can do it. You can do it. This is the only shot that we have at life. Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting to make it happen? Do it scared. Do it uneducated. Do it poor. Do it with no money in the bank. Find the way. You can do that. You can do that. You have what it takes to do great things. Just know that you can do this. And if God has given you a dream, believe that and block out everything else. There's so many people that have risen from the ashes, and you as well can rise. You as well can have that passion that propels you forward to go and to do great things. You as well can become the next world leaders. You as well can be the next, summit that maybe I'm listening to you and taking notes from you. You can do that. You can do these things. You can be the hero of your own story. You can do the things that people told you can't do. right? There's people that are way less talented than us doing things every single day because they just do it. How many times do you watch a movie or a show and you go, oh, I could have done better than the actor or actress? Well, yeah, but you didn't do it. They did. So choose you, find your passion, find your why. Reach down inside yourself. Take a moment, get a notebook out, journal, write what your life, what you want your life to be. I was 12 years old when I read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I had 0 friends. We had just moved from Utah to Minnesota. My sisters were crying because they were going to miss their friends and their boyfriends. I'm like, I don't even have one. I have nothing. I have no friends. I read that book on our way to Minnesota. And by the time we got to Minnesota, I had friends in every single stop. I wrote out in a little notebook what I wanted to do with my life, what I wanted to be, how I wanted to look, what I wanted to accomplish in my life. And you'd be surprised how many things you will check off when you write it down. What the book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, there is a line in that book that has stayed with me since I was 12. And it says, oh, I love this line. It says, why fly only so high when there's so much air above our wings? Why? Why can you not do this? Why can you not rise? Why can you not become great? Why can you not be the person that breaks generational curses in your family? The poverty, the abuse, the lack. Why can't you be that person that rises? Why can't you be the person that becomes a business owner? Why can't you be the next global leader or the coach or the president? Somebody's going to do it. Why not you? Right? Why not you? And I just want you guys to know that I'm so grateful to have this moment to share with you, my journey, to share with you some of the things that I've learned along the way. The hardships have actually become blessings. So if you're being tried and challenged right now, that just is a mark that you've been marked for greatness, because you will never be given more than you can handle. And you're only given that to test you, to get you to the next level. You can do this. Have that passion inside so much that whatever your dream is, you don't stop. You don't take the no's. You just, and Kris Jenner says it best, if you get the no's, you're talking to the wrong people. Go talk to different people. Keep going. Don't stop. And just know that I love you with all my heart. I wish you nothing but prosperity and abundance, and that you find your zest and joy and passion for life, and that I get to hear your success stories as well. So with that, I think I'm going to say goodbye, or if there's any questions, if you guys have any questions, I'm not sure. But with that, I'm just going to say thank you so much for your time today. And I hope that I've even helped maybe one of you to rise. You're welcome.
Thank you,
Thank you for
ma'am.
having me on.
Thank you, ma'am, for your outstanding presentation.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me serve you today. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. After a short video, we'll come back to our question and answer session.
Sure, no problem.
Thank
Everybody
you,
go to the bathrooms. Bathrooms are on both sides. Run, run, everybody run. See you in a few. Bye.
Thank you. Dear participants, after a short video, we'll come back to our question and answer session. Hello, ma'am. Welcome back. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Hello to everyone. It's question and answer session time. You can send your question in our comment section and make sure to put it one by one so that the speaker would understand it well. So participants are requested to ask their question in the comment box. Now, first
Oh,
question:
Shamila.
What
Oh, Shamila,
what
I
gave
love you.
you the greatest inspiration when you hit rock bottom?
I've hit rock bottom about 7 times in my life, and I'm human. We're all human. I had a um, couple of moments where I cry, and um, I, I remember one time specifically. I had breast cancer, stage 4. They told me I was going to die. I wasn't going to make it to the end of the year. I was 37 at the time, and I remember laying there in the hospital bed, and having the nurses and doctors tell me that I wasn't going to make it. And my daughter was very young at the time, and I remember laying there and hearing the drip of the IV, and it was the most deafening sound, and I was crying, and I just having a conversation with God, and I when it came to that point, I was ready to go, and I said, if it is my time to go, I'm ready. But if not, these are my dreams and goals that you have given me. And so my inspiration when I hit rock bottom is I really try to remember the vision that I have of my life, and the things that I personally still want to accomplish for myself personally, for me as a mother, for my children, for my family. I try to remember. What was that? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. It's okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're waiting
Thanks,
for the
Shamil.
next question.
You're okay. Next question. Oh, am I picking the questions or are you picking the questions?
I pick it, ma'am.
Okay, you pick it. Okay.
Participants are
Good evening.
requested to ask their question in comment box. Don't hesitate to ask the question.
Okay. I think when we hit rock bottom, I think we need to remember the value of who we are as a person. I think we need to remember that each one of us comes with special gifts and talents that have only been given to ourselves personally. And when I think when I'm at my lowest, I really want to remember the vision that I have for myself. And I'm not willing to go without every single promise, being given to me, because I believe that I can do still greater things. And I have, I feel that I can do things beyond myself. My greatest fear, oh, Edison, thank you so much for this question. I love this question. So, my
What is your
greatest fear in
greatest fear in life, ma'am? It's from edition.
from where? I'm sorry.
Ma'am, from edition, what is your greatest fear in life?
My greatest fear in life, I think, would be to not have taken the opportunities presented to me and just sit back because of my own fear. And my fear in life is that I'm going to get to the end of my life and see what I could have become, but I didn't. And and that that's like a heavy guillotine on me, especially if you've already had that guillotine almost come down on you, before. Is I It makes you thirsty for life. It makes you want to do everything. Like I want to, when I die, I want to have a checklist that says I did it. Oh my gosh, I did it. Woo! Look at that. Right? Thank you, Edison. That was a great question.
Our next question from Seri, ma'am, Joe should leave the situation which no longer to serve us, move on and start anew, or should we hold on, hope things to get better?
Um, I believe I believe you always need to have hope, but there's comes a time with my second marriage, I loved him fiercely. And the more we stayed, the more toxic our relationship became. The more we tried to get help for our relationship, the more the blame game came. And sometimes the greatest strength is to leave and know when it no longer serves you that you can stay, of course you can stay, but if you're dying inside and you no longer are thriving, no matter what you do, and you just feel that your soul is dying, then I feel that you need to get out and you need to start. And it is scary to start over, but sometimes the greatest blessing is waiting for us when we start over. And with that, and it's is it Sherry? Well, that's a beautiful name. Thank you. But with that, I always try to remember a picture. There's a picture where it's a picture of Christ. I'm Christian. If you're not, I don't mean to offend you. It's just who I am. But there's a picture of Christ asking a little girl for the teddy bear back, and she's holding it, going, "No, no, it's my favorite." And behind his back, he has this giant teddy bear. So just always remember, whatever you give up, whatever sacrifices you go through, there's always greater coming. If not,
Nicodemus,
I hope that answers your question, hun.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. Now, our next question from
Oh,
Nicodemus below. Hi, ma'am Joe. I just want to ask you, how are you doing today?
I am doing so great. I'm supercharged to be here. I'm super excited, to be here to serve you and to make all these new friends, and hopefully I've helped your life. If I have, if you guys can just do a thumbs up really quick, if I have helped your life in some area, um, even just a little bit, that then I know that I've even done even better. So I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Nico.
Thank you so much. Our next question from Lamberto Pilaten. Ma'am Joe, who are those people who served as your model or inspiration in trading and overcoming the stormy seas of your life? And second question is, how do they inspire you to work hard and be the person you are at present?
Um, I'm going to say I have two particular people that stand out in my life. One was a fourth grade teacher when I was told I was stupid, because we had immigrated from South Africa to Canada to the United States, three different educational learning systems and very different languages. I had a teacher that told me I was stupid. We didn't know I was dyslexic at the time. And I was sitting outside the classroom, and Mr. Anderson, I will never forget Mr. Anderson, told me that I was going to do great things with my life, and don't listen to that. And he said to me, "You have seeds of greatness in you. I can see it. You're different, and God's going to use you for good things in this world." I was in fourth grade, and my daughter is my rock, and the person that I work really hard to be even better for, because she inspires me every day to keep going on the days that are hard. She inspires me to be that better person that I dream about. She inspires me to let go of the anger and to let go of grievances and to go forward in love and to completely, cheer me on even at my darkest moments. My daughter has been probably my greatest inspiration in my life. So thank you.
Thank you, Lamberto Pilaten, for your wonderful question.
Thank you for your question.
Our next question from Anil. In this time of uncertainties and full of fears, what is the best way to sustain your passion?
Well, sustaining your passion, it first of all, you have to know truly what you want. That's the number one. If you don't know what it is that you want, it's like when you go on a road trip. If you don't know where you're going, you're already there. But if you have a destination in mind, you will get there. Sometimes you have to reroute and recalculate, but you will get there. The best way to sustain my passion is to keep it in front of me, to remember my why every single day, to remember, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Especially on the days that it's hard. The days that it's fun, it's really easy, but the days that it's hard, it You have to know inside your heart why you're doing something. Even if everybody goes against you, you have to know. And in a time right now where it's full of fears and insecurities, so my business is travel based. My business is, we do retreats for the global coaches. With the environment going on right now, we do have to push it back a year, which, that has been sad. It's been a lot of tears this past week with this decision. But at the same time, it with that has birthed a new opportunity that we're now going to create the Powerball University and to go forward even stronger.
Open
So
yeah.
when we can open, yeah, I say, don't be afraid of the fears. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. And you can either believe in faith or fear. They're both invisible things that you have to believe in. Believe in faith. Believe that, yes, we have setbacks, but guess what? Maybe that setback takes you to the greatest part of your entire life. So I say for sure, know your why. Know your why. Your why becomes your passion, for sure. And thank you for your question, Neil.
Our next question from Roland. Hi, Ma'am Joe. How big is the impact of being a Christian as you face the struggle in life?
This is a good question. Thank you. I am so proud of the fact that I am a Christian. It is what keeps me going in my darkest moments. It keeps me knowing that I have a rock and a redeemer that is stronger than myself, that has basically, done everything for us, and we are just being tested. So if if nothing else with my life, people only know that I love and the Lord Jesus Christ. That I am so proud that is my strength. That is my ultimate strength. Thank you for that.
Our next question from Arif. Hi, Ma'am Joe. When you are at the lowest point of your life, what is the first thing you are going to do to restore your passion again?
I think when you're at that lowest point again, you have to allow yourself to feel those feelings. You can't ignore them. You have to, because for me, like when I go through sadness with my daughter passing away in last February, um, I had to really go, I see you. You're there, depression. I see you, and I'm hugging you like I would my best friend. So the first thing I would do to restore my passion again is go back and reevaluate yourself and go, why am I doing this? Why is this important to me? Why do I want this so much? Do I want this out of vanity, or does my heart ache for this? And so when I'm at my lowest point, I allow myself to cry. I allow myself to sometimes eat a bowl of ice cream or whatever it is. Uh, Ben and Jerry's, woo, we're good friends. But I then, once I've cried it out or Netflixed it out, then I start asking myself, why? Why am I doing this? Why, why am I doing this? Usually, my driving force of passion was my children. I wanted to be the best mother I could, the best example, the best leader I could be, to not just, when I leave this world one day, that I leave this world, but I wanted to leave a legacy for my children, that they were proud to always go, wow, this was my mom. She worked really hard to break the generational curses of our family. She worked really hard to become the woman she said she was and to keep her word. So I think the first thing when you are restoring your passion is really to be alone with yourself, and to really determine what it is that you want to get from that, and what it is that you want to achieve, and why. If you don't know your why, truly you don't know, and you'll just spin in circles. But if you know your why, the minute something falls apart in your life, it's easier to pull it back into your life and to say, okay, let's regroup, let's get back, let's reconfigure. If you don't know your why, you're going to go to the next thing and the next thing, and you'll never have accomplished anything, because we'll just keep going from one thing to another. But it's when you learn to be consistent and you really learn to address why Why is it that you want to be a doctor? Why is it you want to be a professor? Why is it that you want to be a teacher or an opera singer? Or why is it you want to be a great mom? Why is it that you want to do that? When you go back to the why, the original question, that's where your passion can determine. So once you've got that determined, I would say surround yourself with as many pictures and images and words and quotes that you can, because that is my shrapnel. That's my arsenal. I have when I get low on myself, I look at my dream. I look at my dream every day. I look at the vision, and I remind myself, Joe, this is what we're going to do. Joe, we are going to impact people. We are going to love people. We're going to serve people. We're going to be a force for good. We're going to, and it's so automatic now that my spirit talks to me and tells me, Joe, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. And I know my why so much that my why has become such a part of me that I'm not willing to let it go. I'm not willing to lower my standard for that. I'm not willing to give it up when I know that I fight harder one more day. I hope that answered your question.
Our next question from Seri. Whenever you experience the so-called tower moment in life, how long did it take for you to get back up?
Um, I've had a couple of moments. So when I'll just talk about the time when I lost custody of my son. When I lost custody of my son, I lost custody in July, and I tend to internalize everything, and I tend to just smile. So in August is when I emotionally broke, and I couldn't stop crying. I virtually pulled myself back for about a week, and everybody's different. Everybody's time is different, but I pulled myself back for about a week. I cried. I know I ate a lot of ice cream. That I did. And then there's this, it's almost like this anger. So I think it was probably a week. And then this anger inside me that says, no, we're not going to let that stop us. We're going to get up. Or we're not going to let that person make fun of us. We're not going to let that. And it's something inside me that, I would say it took me about a week the last time. With losing my daughter last year, I kept going every single day, but I would say last year it took me probably a good 3 months before I really felt better, because it was really hard when my one of my two daughters passed away last year, and so it and there's still moments that it really hurts, but at the same time, if I keep the vision in front of me to say, this is what I'm doing, so that when my expiration is done, I I will have conquered my own mountain. I will have conquered my own self. And Sherry, whatever you're going through, just know that you are loved, you are important, and if it is your time to move forward, thank whatever happened in your life with love. You know, give it to them with love and say, I thank you for what you gave my life, good or bad. And decide to love yourself that much more and move over the threshold and say, this is the vision. But if you don't know what it is, then you won't go to it. But if you have a clear view of the life you want, maybe for me, it was leaving an abusive relationship my first time, and I needed to know I deserved better for me and my children. And sometimes it's the fear that propels us to go forward. But whatever it is, if you know what it is, then you can go towards it. But if you haven't cleared that up yet, you won't leave or you won't move forward until you know exactly, sometimes maybe even just the first step to get you there. So I hope that helps.
Thank you, ma'am, for your marvelous presentation and question and answer.
You
We
are
are
welcome.
very,
And to everybody, thank you so much for coming today. We love you so much, and we just want you to rise and do just amazing things with your life, because I want to be listening to you next on this global platform.
thank you, ma'am. We are very grateful to you and to your valuable time.
You're welcome. And thank you for having me on here at the Institute of Global Professionals. I'm really, really grateful. And I'm really, really proud to be here and to represent you today.
We we are hopeful. We are in future. We will meet together in another session.
Okay. And I will be back on here on the 26th of January. I'm talking about goal setting. So, woo, if you guys liked what you heard today, come back on the 26th of January. We'd love to, share with you again. Have a great day, everybody. Great night. Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. Thank you.
Dear participants, today the unit program name is Sustaining Your Passion and the code is IGP 3864. And the link also certificate also given in our comments box. The code is IGP 3864. Thank you.